Daren Wendell.
You fish freaks, welcome to episode number 123 of the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast, your ultimate source for all things kayak fishing. Tonight's going to be a good one as we have the owner of NuCanoe, Blake Young, on to talk about NuCanoe and to interrogate him a little bit to see if he'll give up some juice on that new unlimited max. Of course, we're going to talk about the entire fleet, but before we get there, I want to thank the sponsor of the show, Dark Horse Tackle. If you love the show, want to support the show, head over to darkhorsetackle.com. They send me a box every single month, and they're doing something I really like. Doing something called perfect pairings, which they're going to send you, like for instance, this is going to be the LS Lures Mott Football Head Jig, and this is going to be my buddy Andrew Blair's company, Tactical Fish Co., the Bomber Bug. And so they both come in, and you can pair them together. So if that's like right up your alley, head over there to darkhorsetackle.com. Also, special thanks to Charlie's Custom. This is a new channel member at Wendell Fishing. And so thank you so much for supporting the channel. We have 3 different ways you can support the channel. Call them water heifers, hydrilla, gorillas, and boss hogs. It's all set up through YouTube. So head over to @Wendell Fishing if you want to support in that way. But all that aside, let's welcome our guest tonight, Blake Young. Welcome to the channel, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, Daren. How are you, man?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited about tonight. One, I don't know how we're on episode 123. We've never had a NuCanoe on, so shame on me for that. I'm glad we are a 3-hour difference, and so we're a little bit late. We usually have this at 8:30 every night, but thank you for accommodating us and making it happen. So you're out in Bellingham, Washington. Is that correct? Is that where you're at?
No, actually, I'm not. Our business is based in Bellingham, but I live in the Panhandle of Florida.
Oh,
so my family and I relocated here 5 years ago, right in the middle of COVID, and I've been working remotely for 5+ years now. So
isn't it great? I love working remotely.
Yeah,
it's very awesome.
So well, I'm on Central Time, so 1 hour.
Oh, there you go. That's not.
Thanks again for accommodating. I had a conflict earlier and hustled to get over here, so I appreciate that.
No, it's all good. So help us out for maybe someone who never been in a NuCanoe, haven't really went across your website, haven't checked out, doesn't know the history or your history with the company. I believe you go back to like the beginnings. Share that story for us.
Yeah, sure. I do go back to the beginning. The NuCanoe, the first NuCanoe was originally a model name, part of Wild Design. Originally designed by Tim Niemeyer, who had previously founded and then sold Ocean Kayak. So he was kind of getting back into the game, and one of the kayaks he designed was the NuCanoe, and his motto was "1 billion butts in boats." So he was trying to kind of design something that was, a little more to give people other reasons to get on the water other than paddling. For the sake of paddling. So it was wider, it was bigger, it was more stable. Back in 2006, there was no 40-inch wide kayaks. There was no kayaks that weighed 90+ pounds. It was a different market back then.
Did you say 92?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So it was big, it was heavy, it was wide, and it was, in a lot of ways not well received in the kayak, paddling world, because it was just so different.
Interesting. I guess I didn't know that part of the story. It's so funny how the tides have turned.
Yeah.
from that time until now. Like, my gosh. No, it's interesting. I've only been in a NuCanoe once. I was up. It was actually the one. Oh, where was I? I was up in Canada. I was up there with Kayak Angler magazine, and I was able to get
that was the Unlimited.
Yeah, it was an Unlimited. They had an NK300 on the back of it, and it had just a foot control for the turn, just one side. Right. And so left and right. And I was like, this thing's pretty sweet, powerful, and for how big it was, it moved. I think we were pushing 7 in that bad boy. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is really awesome. So big fan. I need to get my hands on. I need to get in one for a longer period of time. Definitely want to do that.
Yeah, you'd enjoy it. You might not want to go back. Who knows?
Who knows? You never know. I get my hands on a lot of different kayaks, but I haven't never been able to like, put it through the paces. So maybe,
Well, we'll have to
in the
work that
future,
out then.
we will work something out. All right. So 92. So share kind of the evolution ever since then. So you've been with the company.
Yeah, it was 2006. The 92 was the weight, 92
Got it.
pounds.
Okay, 96.
So I got involved, you know, in the first few months of creating the product. And I
Okay.
came more from, I'm kind of an albatross in this kayak fishing paddle sports world, because I came more from the business side than from like the enthusiast side. So I kind of joined forces with Tim to help him, you know, take this NuCanoe brand product and, you know, build a business around it. And within a few months, you know, he's an idea off to the next idea, you know, wanting to hatch something else. So we just worked out a simple deal where I took the NuCanoe line, which was the NuCanoe 12 at the time, and, you know, took it over and made an independent business. And I, you know, started to try to make something of it. So that was fall of 2006. So just about 20 years ago, when, you know, NuCanoe became independent, and I was kind of trying to figure out a way to make this thing go.
Got it. So it's like yours. It's yours.
Yes.
Congratulations. Owning a business, not the easiest thing to do, but I love it. I feel like, and I had this conversation, I only talked to you briefly after I invited you guys to come on. And I feel like NuCanoe has this like cult following. And I feel like you guys, I've never heard really a bad thing ever said about NuCanoe or their customer service. And so walk me through kind of the company DNA and kind of one thing you guys are like, you know what, we just have never waffled from this. And because of it, this is the end result. This is what you're seeing. So I know you ask for feedback from owners on your website. And so it sounds like you're really keeping the ear open, which I feel like a lot of kayak companies, this is where they're falling. Like I'm literally had a conversation earlier today with Hoover about companies that are literally just done listening to their people. Doesn't sound like you're done listening to your owners. And so walk me through a little bit of your mindset, being you're the owner and you're the one that really controls that narrative.
Yeah, I think you mentioned DNA, and I think our DNA is, you know, we're a small business. You know, for 4 years, it was pretty much, you know, just me. You know, I had some help on the physical side of things. You know, we had contract partners that molded the boats, had some, you know, help with assembly and shipping. But as far as sales, marketing, customer service, you know, anything forward facing, that was my role. Okay. So if there was someone out there was unhappy or happy, whatever it would be, I mean, it was coming to me. There was no filter. So it was, you know, pretty direct feedback from customers, from dealers. If there was a quality issue, if there was a service issue, if there was, you know, anything anyone wanted to express, it was coming to me. So, you know, and I wanted people to enjoy their product. I wanted them to feel good about it, and wanted, you know, everyone have a good experience with NuCanoe. So if there was something I could do to fix it, you know, I was going to do it. And then as we grew and, you know, hired people and had more, you know, more help, we just kind of kept that culture. And if there was a problem, it would usually get to me pretty quickly. So then I would be aware of it. We could figure out what's causing this, what's at the root, you know, work directly with the dealer or the customer to find a resolution, whatever that would be. And, you know, keep on moving forward, seeking to, you know, improve, you know, our products, improve how we did things, and ensure that those who, you know, invested in NuCanoe had a great experience with it.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So let's take a look at your website really fast. I just had it shared. I don't know where it went. Let me bring that back to stage. There we go. All right, let's head over here. So you have a variety of different models: the Flint, U10, Unlimited. You got the Access.
Let me tell you a good story here about that picture.
Oh yeah, hit me.
That's Ray Martinez from Texas.
All right.
Ray learned about NuCanoe, I think, in 2008, and he called the 800 number to ask a question or something. And of course, it's me that's answering. So I talked to Ray, and then we exchange emails, not like in a friendly sense, but just in a, you know, he has a product question, this, and then he starts posting photos. And we're like, hey man, you're doing good stuff. How do you like your boat? And then a year later, so I was in the Austin area. So we met up, got out on the water together, and Ray has been on our team. Now he's kind of in our, you know, national team advisor program, because he's just such an OG. but he's awesome. And that's, I think it's had a lot of the relationships built, and some of the culture you talked about, and the cult is just connecting with people.
Not a bad cult.
Yeah. Right. Connecting with people, and, we haven't had a lot of turnover, so we're pretty steady over here, and building long-term relationships. I mean, that's something we've aimed to do with dealers, with owners, with team members, with suppliers, all around.
So is that, you just do it through dealers? You don't do direct to consumer at all?
Our kayaks are sold exclusively through dealers. We do sell our accessories through our website, and that's something we added, 5 or 6 years ago, simply because we have so many accessories. It's not realistic for dealers to stock every one of them.
Sure.
And it's not really, we don't want to make it a burden for a customer, an owner, to go pick up something that they want. So we brought the accessories onto our website about 5-6 years ago, but our kayaks are sold exclusively through, local independent retailers.
Okay, right on. So taking a look at some of your models here, and what I really want you to do is, in a brief overview, like, we'll talk about the Flint. We'll click into Flint. Just give us a brief overview. Why you created this kayak, who's it for, and the feedback you're getting from it. And so, looking into the Flint, looks like a river kayak.
Yes.
All right. So, when did this come out? What does the design process even look like for NuCanoe? Like, what goes into a new kayak launch like this? I know this has been out for a while, but nonetheless, overall.
Yeah, the Flint came out in 2018. At the time, we had the F10, the Frontier 12, and the Pursuit. So we were looking to get something a little bit narrower, a little bit more paddle-oriented, simpler, lighter weight, something that would really do well in the rivers, a little more technical than like the F10 and Frontier 12. Kind of a smaller evolution of the Pursuit in a way, that was a narrower boat at 35 inches. So we really wanted something that would paddle well, that would perform well in moving water, that would drain well, that would not be susceptible to taking on water, like any water intrusion in the hull, and be simple, but still have a lot of features and functionality for anglers.
Mm-hmm. What's the feedback that you're getting from it?
The feedback has been good. I mean, the Flint's a great little model. It's not our best seller by any means. We've kind of seen resurgence of the Flint in the last couple of years. Part of it's because we've been able to put, have it more central in our marketing as we've pared down our model lineup a little bit, and include the Flint more in the content that we're creating. We did a great little photo shoot with the Flint and the U10 back in Texas about a year and a half ago. And that's where that image came from, and a lot of other ones. So it's, and I think in a sense in the market now, there's a desire to kind of return to like simplicity in kayak fishing to an extent. I mean, there's certainly a place for the big models with everything on them, but hey, there's a time where you just want to grab a kayak, a couple rods, a tackle box, hit the river or hit the lake, get out for 2 hours and have fun. Yeah.
And that price point isn't bad either.
Right. Yeah. The $10.99 price point, we don't want to get too far up that we're, not accessible. Kind of, you don't want to miss the heart of the market there, getting too expensive.
Yeah. 100%. Then you have the U10. I've heard some comments about the U10. I've heard some people like, hey, I want a U10 Max. I've heard all kinds of things since you guys have teased out your unlimited Max.
Right.
So what do we?
Yeah. The U10's a killer boat. I mean, the unlimited came out in 2021, started 2021. The U10 came out 3 years later. And in a lot of ways, the U10 is just a smaller, more compact, but not limited version of the unlimited. So it's 20 inches less. It's awesome for transport in the back of a pickup truck. It's a 72-pound whole weight. So really manageable. And it's got massive stability. I mean, honestly, between the U10 and the unlimited, if you don't need the extra 20 inches of space, you're not giving up much of anything on the water. A very slight difference in stability, perhaps. But it's a really great hull design. It's super stable. and it excels both, like on flat water with a motor. Derek Brundle used a U10 in a lot of his Bassmaster events this year, rigged up with a Newport and the quick connect with the foot steer. It's also a killer boat for floating rivers. I mean, one of our dealers in Texas, Alex at TG Canoe and Kayak, I mean, he hit us up like a month after getting his first shipment of U10s, and he's like, guys, you got to market this as a river boat. This thing is amazing in the rivers. And, that's definitely been a growing theme for the U10, is use in the rivers. The Bearded Paddler did a series with the U10 in the rivers this summer. He's going to continue that next year. And it really does excel in that environment as well. So the U10, it caught the Unlimited this year more or less on sales. So, last year when it came out, it was, maybe a 60-40 split, but this year they were neck and neck. So that U10 has been, just done really well. And I mean, honestly, I don't know if I've heard we get any feedback from someone who gets a U10. It's like, yeah, it's not really what I thought it would be, or I'm disappointed. I mean, that kayak is just exceeds expectations.
We got Edom Fishing over here, says the U10 is great in the river. I drag and launch mine everywhere.
Nice.
I like it. So if you have a question for Blake, go ahead and throw that in the comment section. Seth is not here tonight. He's on the road traveling right now. However, I am trying to manage that the best I can while still having a conversation with Blake. So it's always a little bit interesting. Steven Sturgeon says, I have an old Frontier 12. The versions of the seat frame are a great example of how Blake kept working on the issue until the seat frame is now a solid and durable project. I don't know the backstory to that. So
sure. I mean, we've gone through a variety of seat options on the Frontier 12, but I think one of the bigger, ideas here is, one, we're always looking to improve, and two, we try to keep things compatible. So someone could have bought a Frontier 12 in 2012.
Okay.
They can go on our website today and they could add any of the accessories that we've developed in the last 13 years that fit the Frontier 12. Could be used on theirs.
Okay.
So someone could have bought a Frontier 12 way before we had fusion seats and quick connect systems, but they can still grab those things, plug them right in, and be off and racing.
I like it.
We have a pretty, there's a good used market there for our kayaks for that reason, because they can be updated real easily. So even if, someone gets a model that came out before this seat or that accessory or this component, all that stuff is going to be able to be added on or updated to prior models.
Yeah, I like it. I got a question over here from Todd. Did I miss the Max conversation? You did not. We are working our way toward the Max conversation. At the end of the day, I haven't had a conversation with Blake ever, and so I'm just jacked to hear the brains behind it all kind of walk through their product line. So I'm excited about it. Chad Hoover in the comment section over here. NuCanoe pioneered the seat configuration that many other manufacturers are using now. So there you have it.
Yeah, I'd say if you look at, there's a lot of things, and it's kind of the natural evolution of the market, and it's not necessarily because of anything we did special, but there's a lot of things in the last 5 or so years that, the market's moved towards that we were there, 10 years ago. We were putting swivel seats on kayaks in 2008, 2009, outboard motors, bow mount motors, all that stuff, 10 plus years ago. So we were there. And, fortunately for us, the market's evolved, that stuff is now, highly sought after, and people really value that and want to do that with their kayaks.
Yeah. With the onslaught of motorization, and even I was reading on your website, you guys were even like, discontinuing your pivot drive just because sales are low and motorization is high. So you guys you're sitting pretty there, because a lot of these boats are great for motors. Let's keep on moving along in some of your models. Let's look at the Unlimited. You talked about it a little bit. This is is it one of your most popular models that you have?
Yes.
This is it.
So, I mean, going back prior to the Unlimited, I mentioned the NuCanoe 12 being like the very first model. The Frontier 12 was more or less a direct improvement of the original NuCanoe 12, and that came out in 2012. And then the Unlimited came out in 2021, and it really just built off the Frontier 12 and improved it in countless ways. But the width, the overall kind of shape and stuff was pretty similar. So the Unlimited's been a killer boat. It launched in February of 2021, right in the middle of the COVID boom. And we just, we had 9 years of learning with the Frontier 12 to, hear what people liked and didn't like and kind of figure out ways to make it improve, to address weak spots and to add more functionality, add more capability to it, and allow, anglers, hunters, paddlers to do whatever they would want to do, on their deck and in the water.
I like it. Chad over here saying NuCanoe legitimately pushed the bow mount motor and ease of integration long before anyone else in the industry. A lot of people have a tendency to forget the history, how this all came to be. And I also see a lot of people taking credit for things. I'm like, wait a second. That's just not true. It's just, it's fascinating. All right, let's keep on moving along. You got some other models and you got your Access series. Now, the Access series looks like it's more, well, I'll let you explain. Looks like you're focusing on the hunting side of the house.
Yes. So the Access series is the F10 and Frontier 12, and these models, were essentially replaced by the U10 and the Unlimited. So rather than try to compete against them side by side and explain why somebody should buy a U10 versus an F10, we basically reconfigured them to lower the price points and just kind of reposition the marketing to be more as, under the Access series name, which the thinking there is someone's not going to buy these models to go sit in them for 6 hours all day long while they're fishing, but they're going to buy these boats because they want to get to and from a specific location. They want to get gear in, game out, whatever. They got wide open decks. It's easy to put a trolling motor, an outboard motor on them. And they're just highly functional. So it's kind of a great kayak to slide in the back of the truck, drop in the water, get your, to get where you want to go, get your gear where you want to go. See a lot of people posting pictures like you've just flipped through there, hauling with deer, getting deer out, from hunts. So that's the thinking there. But these are kind of our legacy models and just looking to, kind of reconfigure them, to capture a new market and keep them relevant.
Any of the older models down here, your other models you want to touch on? You got your F10 front. You kind of talked about some of these.
No, yeah, the Pursuit was phased out a year ago. So it's been retired. And then the prior, F10 Frontier 12 versions are retired. So, I mean, as it stands today, the U10, the Unlimited are our best sellers. They're pretty equal in volume. And then the Flint is, a good bit behind those. And then the Access series are just kind of finding their way, but we're definitely getting some traction there and seeing some new markets for those models.
Yeah. So when wow, I just looked at, we got 107 live on right now. So if you got a question, please go for Blake, go ahead and throw that out here. We'll get it answered for you, or a comment, or just your experience with NuCanoe. Would love to hear that as well. Also, please hit that like button. We'll get some extra yardage out of this once it's all said and done. So Blake, when you design a new kayak, right, what's the first thing like you're solving for? Are you solving for performance? Are you solving for stability, modularity, user experience? Like we're going to be talking about the Max here in a little bit. What problem were you trying to solve?
I mean, I think that's different with every model. I can kind of go back historically with the Frontier 12, we were looking to, solve for the butts. It's a nice idea, but it doesn't have scuppers, or but the deck channel is too narrow, or but it's too hard to adjust the seats, or but there's not enough, features on it. So we felt like with that classic 12, back in 2009, 2010, 11, that the concept was good. We could see it getting traction, but we also heard from a lot of people that I like the idea, but you're not there yet.
Okay.
And so we tried to take as much of that as we could and incorporated into an updated design, which became the Frontier 12. And then, once we brought that out, our business, grew quite a bit over the next few years, as those people who liked the idea of the NuCanoe 12 now saw the Frontier and go, okay, yeah, that's what I want. Then with the F10, it was really just, taking that and putting it in a smaller form, more for solo, ease of transport, lighter weight. But the rest of the design was pretty similar. Now with the Pursuit, one of the main drawbacks of the Frontier, the F10 and Frontier 12, especially in that market in that day, was just, paddling speed and performance. We're talking about kayaks were still primarily paddled. Most of them were in the, 33 to 36 inch width range. And the Frontier 12 and the F10 just, there was a lot of people that felt like, I like the open deck, I like the concept, but I want something that's going to be more efficient, easier to paddle, going to go faster. So we designed the Pursuit, and the Pursuit, in all honesty, was an amazing kayak. I mean, we have had countless people say that the Pursuit was their favorite kayak to be in, to paddle, to just love the heck out of it. But man, we had some good years with it, but we just never saw that enthusiasm that some people had for it, and that love for it really translate into, success in the marketplace.
Right.
And then also the Pursuit kind of had bad timing, because it came out right when pedals were really like growing in popularity. And so it was like, well, we designed an awesome paddlecraft right when awesome paddlecraft were kind of cresting and pedals were, ascendant. So it was a little bit of a victim of bad timing there as well.
Sometimes it's what it is. It's just bad timing. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, if we'd have done the Pursuit 5 or 8 years later, it probably would have been amazing.
Yeah,
or 5 years before. So,
yeah. So what do you think that NuCanoe does differently than the rest of the kayak industry right now? Like, what's your differentiating factor? Or what do you hope it to be, or what are you working towards, or what it has been, or how has it evolved?
I mean, I think it's a number of things, and some of them may be unique to the market or differentiating us, but it's stuff that we do. I mean, we've been owner committed in trying to ensure that owners have a great experience with NuCanoe and are satisfied. We're dealer committed, looking to build long-term relationships with our dealers and support them.
How many dealers you have?
We have about 125 dealers.
That's a lot of dealers
in the U.S. and Canada.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, we've always tried to think of them as partners, not like a different entity, but like we're in it together. So we want them to succeed selling our boats. We want them to buy more boats, but ultimately their success depends on them being able to sell through, people want to walk into their store and buy our kayaks. So it's our partnership essentially to try to achieve that end result. That's what's going to lead to them turning around and saying, hey, we need more kayaks. So we've kind of had that approach. On the product side, I think we've been really consistent. I mean, you can look at the Unlimited, the U10, any model that we've done alongside the original NuCanoe 12 and see the similarities. So when you talk about kind of design inspiration, what we're solving for, I mean, we have essentially 19, 20 years of experience building on this same style of platform and continuing to iterate and improve. So really every model we bring out, just kind of builds upon what we've done before, rather than like, okay, this is a whole new, creature over here that we don't have experience with. Yeah. And then one other thing that's unique to NuCanoe is just our accessorization, how we have, developed just a full line of accessories that are, at this point, everything's pretty much custom, and unique to us. A lot of it is like the motor mounts, the quick connect system for the, for putting on a Newport or Torpedo motor with the foot steering pedal that you talked about.
Yeah.
The rudder system that plugs into that. The gear pod has been a hugely popular accessory to drop in the bow of the Flint, the U10, the Unlimited, just for storage. And what we're seeing it used for more and more is for like an electronics hub. People can put all their power, their black box, their batteries in there, not have it in the hold of their kayak, be able to, lift it out easily and just have all that be modular.
I like it. You got some questions over here. I'm gonna get those asked and answered. Orange Power guy, anything in Oklahoma?
Anything in Oklahoma? Well, we had OKC Kayak and Tulsa Kayak shut their doors. I'm not quite sure what their future holds, but right now, as far as anything in Oklahoma, we don't have a dealer there. But hey, if you know of anybody, let us know.
There you go. And Squirrel Fishing guy, any dealers in Southwest Ontario now or in the season?
Southwest Ontario, we have dealers kind of in the north of Toronto area. Southwest Ontario, if you're close to Detroit, we got a good dealer over there across the border, if that's an option for you, with Hebner Canoe and Kayak.
Okay. I love that you just have them kind of memorized. All 125 of them. I bet it's tough right now because every person I have a conversation with, they're like, oh, this dealer's going after business. Oh, the dealer's going out of business. Is that like a moving target for someone who relies so heavily with distribution through their dealers?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, we're in a healthy market when dealers are selling a lot of kayaks. That's good for us because they're keeping their doors open, they're growing, they're marketing, they're investing, they're doing all that stuff. When the broader market is weaker, there's a lot of stores that it's challenging. So we've been fortunate that we have had some dealers shut their doors. Haven't been a ton of dealers that we've seen that happen to from our side. And also where it has happened, we've seen that, other people fill the void. And there's a lot of new dealers coming online the last few years too, that have new energy, that have a new perspective, just kind of a new approach. Paddler's Cove up in New Jersey, Jack is doing an awesome job. Muddy Bay Outdoors is an awesome dealer. Midwest Kayak Fishing, in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, is doing a great job. And these are all guys, shops that have really started up in the last couple of years, or just taken on kayaks the last couple of years, that may not be at the level as some of those other shops were, but they're doing things the right way. They're connecting with customers, and they're supporting our brand and growing the kayak fishing market.
Yeah, 100%. 120 live right now, folks. Hit that like button if you could. All right. I'm not going to make everyone keep on waiting and keep on dragging this out. Right. It is not, this is the interrogation. So imagine you make your background like black and just put like a spotlight on your face. We're going to try to get Blake to answer all the questions he promised himself he wasn't going to answer on the show, because you guys are teasing the Unlimited Max, right? The last 2 days, you guys have been posting some shorts. You're sharing pieces. We have some photos tonight, not of the actual like full boat, but some of the accessories on the boat. These are ones that Blake sent to me. So I think one of your dealers let the cat out of the bag. So I have some information we're not going to talk about tonight. It's on a screenshot, and so out of respect for you and your marketing and your launch.
Yeah, we're not too militant on tracking all that stuff down. So if people are so eager that they want to find out what it is, and hey, that's all right. But we're excited to unveil it. We had a plan for how we're going to do it, and it's gonna be a pretty cool experience. Come Friday, it's not going to be like a canned marketing video that we're gonna set to release. It's going to be follow along live. We've got I don't even know how many guys. We've got our marketing guy Brian, who does all our social media and does an amazing job with that and kind of spearheads all our content efforts. He's got a crew of 8 or 9 guys meeting up in Atlanta. We've got 4 Unlimited Maxes out there for them, and they are going to put them to the test in a variety of scenarios and pump out as much content as they can so everyone can, just really experience it. So yeah. I think that this kayak, if someone's been paying attention to NuCanoe and we say we got the Unlimited Max coming, there's probably a lot of things you can figure out already.
Sure.
That it's going to have. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of shock and awe as far as, the design itself, but showing what that does on the water and what it's capable of is where we're going to focus. And I think it's going to be impressive. I think people are going to like what they see.
All right, so let's start unpacking this, of course, without giving it all away. You do have a marketing plan, obviously, but you did send me a bunch of some photos, things we can talk through. So unlimited to unlimited max, right? And so, I mean, maxing stability, maxing speed, maxing space, maxing features, maxing performance. What are we maxing here? What we got going on?
Yeah, you named it. So, I mean, stepping back, with the unlimited to the U10, when we decided where to go there, we had a few options on the board. We narrowed in on going towards, with the U10, we brought that out. And then after that was on the market, and we, kind of get back to the drawing board, some of the ideas that we had prior to that, we started to pick up and run with. We've always, going back to the Pursuit, our design process is pretty collaborative with, a group of our team members and, kayak tournament anglers and pro staff guys. Yeah. So we'll have ideas, we'll have concepts, and then we'll get everybody together on a Zoom or a Facebook group and share what we got, hear everybody's feedback, go back and rehash, rework, bring it back to the group. And it's just a good process because we get a lot of diverse ideas and kind of competing ideas. And then we try to hash out, where the best fit is, where the biggest opportunity is. And then look at how we can address every little detail and make it as functional as possible and serve as many, different needs. Someone mentioned the comments versatility. And I think that's something that we've always, had in our designs is a lot of versatility and how you can use them, how you can configure them. And that's something we definitely want to, keep going forward.
Yeah. No, I'm curious. We're gonna get ready to rock through just four or so of these upgrades. What didn't make the list? I'm always curious because you got. I mean, I can only imagine the amount of ideas that I would have for you if you gave me hey, what's some ideas how to make it limited and limited max. So which ones were close to making it, but didn't? But you guys are maybe not, but end up not making it.
Oh my goodness, man. I don't even know.
If you got questions for the max, throw those in I'm starring them, and we'll get to all your questions as well in the comment section.
What didn't make it?
That was close.
Yeah, I don't think there was any major things. Most of the stuff that we kind of hashed around, we were able to get in there. All right. So, there was some placement of stuff, or should we do an extra access plate here or there that, we trim some of that stuff down, that didn't add a lot of functionality or it would take away from something else. And I think that's a lot of, things that don't make it is, okay, if we put this here, do that, cause a problem for people who don't use that feature, don't want that. Yeah. And if it's something that, was going to benefit some, but be a hindrance to others, then we'd usually try to, find a different way to go about it.
Yeah. And your boats are typically hey, we want it as modular as possible. It's not like you shove a lot of things on there. This is interesting. Chad says the massage seat didn't make it, apparently. I don't think that.
Well, that's the accessory, Chad. We can't have everything in the base model.
And I do want to end with accessories. Let's hop in to the max. You want to start rocking with some of the pictures that you sent me earlier today, but
sure.
First, let's start with specs. I got a bunch of questions over here in the comment section. I got Edom saying, what's the weight?
The weight is going to be right around 100 pounds on the hull. So we're not completely dialed in yet on that, but the
hull,
fitted hull
shot
weight,
or rigged weight? Rigged weight.
That would be the rigged, base model weight excluding the seat.
Okay.
So for reference, it's probably going to be 12 to 15 pounds heavier than the unlimited.
Okay. What adds that weight? Is it accessories or is it just more plastic or what adds
some extra length adds that weight. It's 13 feet 6 inches.
All right.
So we got a foot longer. And then just some more plastic, more surface area due to the feature that's in the boat. And then some of the components that are on there are a little bit heavier than prior versions.
All right. I'm getting a lot of questions over here. I'm starting them, folks. We'll get back to this. Woo! All right. This is fun. Let's head over one of the pictures you sent me.
Yeah, you see a question there from Z Giller.
There we go. The question is, for those listening in, I have to read it out loud.
Yeah.
Will the Max have a hull design suitable for larger outboards?
Yes. Final answer on that is still to be determined, but the short answer is yes.
I like it. All right, keep those questions. I'll keep on. We'll circle back on those after some of these as we break down some of the accessories. All right, first picture we have for you. Let's go to the bow.
You want to start with the bow?
Yeah. You teased this out in a short today, which you could take this apart and put it back on, or put a different one back on. Looks like we got a bow mount motor option here. So tell me what am I missing, or what am I not missing?
Yeah, this is what we're calling our grip mount plate. It is a badass handle for one. You can see that kind of at the top of the photo. It gives you a great, handhold on the kayak. Really, it kind of makes it feel lighter because you got a really good grip, a really, sturdy place to hold on to. You can see it's got 4 mounting screws. So there's 4 1/4-20 inserts that are molded into the boat that mounts into. And it also, kind of is a, side benefit in a sense, like it's almost like a bumper up there. Like if most of our boats have a pointed bow. This one with that plate, you've got a real, if you bounce into anything, that kayak is not going to take a beating at all.
Yeah.
So it's real functional like that. It's a great handle, but as you saw in the video, it's got a little surprise for you underneath. You pop off those screws, you lift it out, and it is pre-drilled with hex recesses to mount your quick release bow mount motor puck. So you don't need a separate bow motor mount with the UMAX. It's built in there. You don't see the holes on the handle because we left about an 1/8 inch of material. So if you're not using that, you don't have to look at holes in your handle every day. But if you are, you just pull out your 1/4 inch drill bit, pop those through, mount your puck, and then you're away you go.
All right. I like that. Love the thought in it. What was I going to ask you about this? So
it also has the whole pattern for the Anchor Wizard chute as well.
All right.
So if you're more of a bow anchor guy than a bow motor guy, we got you covered too.
Well done. So what type of motor? Well, first I'm going to get to the width question. You mentioned the length. We're looking at 13.6. What's the width?
The width will be the same as the Unlimited, so it's right at 41 inches.
Okay. There you go. I got that one answered. Whoever asked that one. So what motors would you put on this? Like a Tarova, or what kind of bow mounted motors you're like, hey, this is kind of what it was built for?
The Tarova. That's just bread and butter. Yep. We have a power pole move motor we're going to put on there. That's
a good one.
Power.
Got some power, all right.
When we ran that on the Unlimited, it's like, hey, it works, but you feel like, you're kind of getting towards the limit. So we're going to put that on this thing this weekend and go full tilt. And I think it's going to handle it like a champ. So I think that will be an excellent motor for this kayak.
Yeah. Hoover says there's a power pole move that would pair up nicely with it. 100%. I think it's powerful.
I will mention that the power pole move has a unique mounting pattern. So that one does require an adapter plate to go between the handle and the power pole move mount.
I like it. All right. Anything to mention here before we move on to the next little?
No, I think we can move on.
Yeah, we can. And I'm starting all these questions that are coming through. So we'll circle back on those in a minute. All right, next one. Looks like we got some rod tip protectors. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, it's on the Pursuit, we had the internal rod tubes that would go inside the hull of the kayak,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it was great feature and functionality, but it does come with a lot of complexity and potential for leakage when you're cutting into the boat and trying to seal it back up again. On the Unlimited, we left that more open with the rod tip holders up at the bow, and then more just open for the rods to sit on those kind of insides of the gunnels there.
Yeah.
On this one, you can see we built kind of a on the surface tunnel for rods that gives you loads of space to get all your rod tips up in there, and then we have the cover on it so that they're protected.
Yep.
So we kind of get the best of both worlds. We don't have any opportunity for leak or water intrusion into the hole, but you got great storage for the rods. It's going to keep them protected and out of your way.
Got it. Is that just a thermoform piece, it looks like?
Yes. Yeah. It's just a ABS plastic.
Nice. All right. Still got the questions rolling in, so we'll get around that. Let's look at the next picture we got here. You sent my way. What are we looking at here? It looks like a pod latch.
Yeah, it's a latch, man. This is a good example of just how burly everything is on this model. That latch, I mean, you can put about 3 fingers between the two sides there above the end block, and it is so you got a lot of grip, a lot of hand hold, and it's got a lot of pull strength too. So it's going to keep that pod super secure.
I like it. And another
So,
photo you sent my way. Anything else to say here about? Unpack a little bit for those of you who don't own a NuCanoe, kind of your pod, because I see a lot of comments over here in the section. Sounds like people love the pod. It looks obviously removable. So walk us through the thought behind that.
well, yeah, the pod that we've had the last 5 years is the gear pod, and that's kind of modular storage. It drops up in the bow. This is a different concept. So we're excited about it. When we get the full release, I think people like what we've done here. Which a lot of it goes back to how do we utilize the space on the boat, because we don't just want to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. How do you make it purposeful? How do you add a lot of value to the space? How do you do it in a way that's not going to, that still doesn't compromise the versatility and allows people to use things different ways depending on how they're going to set up their kayak and how they're going to run it. And I think that, we came up with a really good solution here and excited about it as well. Yeah. Another, for a number of years, we had the gear vault on the Frontier 12, the gear vault on the F10 and on the Pursuit. And those were all, kind of open hatches on the deck. Okay. So we relied on the cover and the seal and everything to keep water out. But as most people know, in the end, like, water will likely win. But we've designed this in a way that there's no opportunity for water intrusion into the hole, and it's not going to be so there's no opportunity for that with this design and this setup.
I like it. I'm looking at the leaked photo, and now I know why you have such a tight edit on that photo there. We'll move on. All right, next one you have here. Looks like your scupper system.
Yes, yeah. This is part of our scupper system. So the UMAX will come with scupper plugs in all of the scuppers, and it's a system where you don't have to take them in or out. You just twist them to tighten.
Oh, come on, that's pretty
loosen
sweet.
them to allow it to drain.
That's it.
They are all essentially, I say permanently installed, but someone could easily take it out if they didn't want it there. But They're all designed to stay in place, and then, twist it to lock it and seal it off, open it up to allow it to drain. I feel with the UMAX, most people will probably run it with those scuppers, a half a turn open. So if water does get in, it'll get out. But most people will not experience a lot of water getting onto their deck, in regular or even irregular conditions.
Yeah, no, I like it. I love it because I own like Native Slayers and Bonafide P127s, and I'm always missing a scupper plug. And the worst time is when I'm trying to like sell it. Like, where's that one? Where's the one that I need so I can sell this stupid thing? So you're getting a lot of positive feedback over here. No, I like that. I like that a lot. So click up, click down. You're on to something. This is one of those things where like, hey, in 5 years from now, everybody will be doing it. And so I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're gonna bounce out of these photos, and I'm gonna go over to some questions that you may or may not answer, but I'm still going to ask them because this is a live show. All right.
I think Mike already told me to shush up once. So
yeah, I heard someone's like, "Hey, is Blake your marketing guy?"
No, that's Mike. He's the one that's got the 4 marketing boats, getting them all rigged up for our big testing and content weekend. So I think he just wants to keep all the goodies to himself to share. So
there you go. Sorry, my friend.
No, we love Mike. We appreciate him a lot.
I love it. All right, going back, man. There's a lot of them here. All right. What's the weight? We answered weight. Is there forward-facing rod holders from Edom? Here we go. Will it be dual seating, being that you added an extra foot on that bad boy?
Yes, it can definitely be set up tandem. It will have the deck track is 8 inches longer than on the Unlimited. Okay. So you got more space, more room for tandem seating.
All right, there you go. And I've always been like, tandem boats, whatever. But it wasn't until this past summer when I took my daughter out. She wanted to go fishing with me one day. And I was like, you know what? This would be perfect. If I had the option to this modularize my kayak and add a seat, this would be great. Because I'm like taking stuff out and putting seats down, making a makeshift so she could sit in front of me. We still had a good time. We made it work. But something to think about if you got kids.
Yeah, we got to, I mean, in the dual seating, you can set the boat up with a full tandem, like with 2 of the 360 Fusion seats.
Okay.
But one of my favorite setups is just our bench seat, our buddy seat. And that mounts up in the bow tracks, like where the gear pod would go. And It's just a simple rotomolded bench seat. My son's 10. When we go out together, he's sitting there all day long. And he's just up at the bow. He can face forward. He can twist around and face back. Yeah. Sit sideways, whatever he wants to do. But it's just a real inexpensive, simple way to add seating for a child or occasional passenger on any of our models. I
like it. 123 live right now, folks. Hit that like button if you could. Got a question from Marco Roman here. A little off subject from the Max, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of this. So, and you probably have already been answering this. If you're going to update the Unlimited, will there be a Max version of the U10 or general updates to the U10?
Yeah, I think you can look at our history and say we tend to, over time, improve, refresh, take what we incorporate into one model and, bring out an evolved version of another model. So, down the road, I'm sure what we've done in the Max will find its way into other NuCanoe models. Exactly when and what that will look like, TBD.
TBD. That's right. Just wait. I'll have you on. We'll talk about it again. I like it. Steven Sturgeon's got a question for you. Where is the track for accessories going to be located? On top of the rail or recessed?
Similar to the Unlimited and the U10, there will be accessory track that is recessed in the top of the gunnel and also in line with the deck track in the bow of the boat.
All right. Great question there. Question from Bass AF 817. Live well?
That's something that there is the capability to do it. It's not a standard feature.
Is it an accessory or is it just it's capable?
At this point, capable.
All right. Well,
but hey, when we brought out, we tend to bring out the model and figure out the accessories later. So
now there we go.
We got ideas.
I like it. If enough people ask the question live, well,
that's for sure.
Get your attention. I like it. Here's a good question coming in from James. I don't know how to say the last name, so I'm not going to say it. Is there a major change in the hull shape from the Unlimited?
I would say no, there's not a major change. There are some significant differences and improvements that's really going to benefit performance, speed, and rough water handling and rough water performance.
Okay.
For example, on our prototype this summer, went out crabbing with my son, and it was a choppy day. We had the NK300. We were going full tilt with that thing, and he's sitting up in the buddy seat, right behind the bow of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
If we were on the Unlimited, he would be drenched. I
Okay.
mean, it would have been water coming in, splashing him, washing through the deck. I think he got one small splash of water on him on the prototype of the UMAX.
Okay.
So there's definitely some big changes. I mean, if you look at it from 10 feet away, it's very similar, but there's some significant differences that, really will improve the performance of this boat relative to the Unlimited.
I like it. Got a question coming in from Jason Reardon, kayaking. Any access replacement panels for electronics? You kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we'll let people coming in and out of the podcast give you a chance to touch on it again.
Yeah, the wiring access plates that you see on the U10 and the Unlimited, kind of rectangular and have the knockout plate behind it, or you can just drill through it. Those are incorporated into the new model, as well as a completely new HD access port at the bow and the stern.
There you go. Kenny Kendrick, we got a lot of comments. This is fun. Hey Blake, longtime customer here. I've owned 3 Frontiers and 2 Pursuits. Looks like we're losing our only dealer in Mississippi. And any update for him? The hope on the horizon?
I hope not. I mean, we'll see. But I think you're referring to everything kayak, and they've been a good dealer, and I hope they're sticking around.
Yeah, definitely want every kayak company in the business to be successful. It's good for the sport. I like it. Orange Power guy. How does the Max compare to the Crest Craft? Obviously, Crescent came out with the new, it's a skiff, so it's gonna be obviously different. But do you want to take a stab at that one?
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
There we go.
We'll let people decide that once they see it and understand what it's all about.
No, 100%.
I will say there's love seeing innovation, love seeing new things come out, and so excited for the Crest Craft. I think that's a cool looking boat.
Yeah, that'd be fun to throw a motor on that and ride around. We have. This was it. I don't even know when the context of this comment is made. He said, love that. I have an anchor wizard in the front on mine, and it makes it tough to get a good hold of it. Oh, we must have been talking about your handle that you guys created. Love it. Oh, lost my comments here. Charlie Williams, I need an Unlimited Max in my life, people. Come on.
Couldn't agree more.
Mike looks solid. Like it. We answered the question, what bow motors can you run? Oh, here we go. What colors? Nope, sorry, hit the wrong one. What colors will the Max come in?
It'll be in the same colors as our other models. So that's Army Camo, Nuclear Green, Thunderstorm, and Tundra. And we will also, it's not a published color, but it'll be available in Hazard as well, which was the orange.
Oh, that's what you sent me the photos on. That's what someone was like, hey, that color is fire.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's go back to that. Someone asked about paddling.
Oh, yeah. Let me go back up. What's his paddling capabilities?
I think that's another thing that's kind of set NuCanoe apart, even with the motorization and through the pedals and stuff. All of our kayaks have been, they're all paddleable. And per our owner registration surveys, about a third of owners are planning to just use a paddle with their NuCanoe. So we haven't gone away from, paddle ability. I mean, granted, we're not building the kayaks with the idea that most people are going to paddle them. But we still want them to be paddleable, and I think that'll be the case with the Unlimited Max. That I envision that most people that are buying that are probably going to motorize it, but it's also a kayak that if your battery dies, if your motor fails, example of this, Brian, our marketing guy, he was going fishing with our shop manager. Quick little outing, took the UMAX prototype, and somewhere between our shop and the river, I forget what it was. I think it was the or Newport went missing.
Oh,
so he got to the river and had a choice: go back or paddle. He chose to paddle. Caught some salmon, had a great time, and it was a good experience. So
right.
the UMAX is going to prove to be a model that, if you choose to paddle it, you can, and if you need to paddle it, it's going to work out just fine.
I like it. You got Chris Roos 53. Is that front pod or something in the rear?
The gear pod will fit on this, so it's not in the front.
There you go. Everyone's like piecing this thing in their mind.
Right.
They have no clue what it really looks like. Everyone's mind looks a little bit different right now. From all these little pieces that you're putting together. Appreciate you answering these questions. Got a lot more questions over here. Oh, had a few scuppers tear late this year, so that'll be a sweet upgrade. I love it. Any advancements in the transport landing gear?
No, I wouldn't say there's any advancements. We brought out the NuCanoe Sidekick, about a year ago, and that's a great option for the U10, the Unlimited. It'll also work great on the Unlimited Max with its size. I think that style of cart is ideal, or a bigger, cart to go underneath, such as the Yak Attack bar cart.
Mm-hmm. So the Sidekicks, obviously, you mount a bar across. But
correct, down, yeah. Some of the Boondocks landing gear, same thing.
Yeah, 100%. I love my native Sidekicks. It's freaking awesome. But they don't work really well if you don't have a really great front handle. And so with that handle you guys have on there, it's going to be a lot easier to move that around. So well done there. I like it. USA Kayak Fishing Magazine, Roy Widgeon in the house. Is there a through haul transducer still? Is that still an option?
Yes. I think Roy's referring to our transducer retract system that allows you to mount your transducer through a center scupper.
Yeah.
And that is this model is going to support that and, do it better, a little bit more space for the larger transducers, than we have on the Unlimited. So it'll work great on this. And on a side note, we have just, I think we're a week away from having parts and being able to ship it, but we have a new and improved version of that transducer retract system that will start shipping here in the next week or so.
Okay.
And for anybody that already has the transducer retract system, it will be retrofittable. We'll have a very inexpensive kit to kind of retrofit the existing ones with the new parts, so you can, kind of upgrade your TRS rather than have to go buy a brand new one.
All right. Like it. Is it, of course, here's the question. It's always going to come up. Yak Bass is it even more stable than the Unlimited?
It's called the Max, right?
Max stability, max speed, max everything. Max stability. I like it.
Yeah.
Someone already asked that question, asked and answered. Let me see here. My goodness, there is a lot of engagement over here in that comment section. I think you answered Chad Hoover's question. Retractable, transducer compatible. Yes. Yep, love it. Weight capacity. That's something we haven't got to yet. What we got there?
Based on our models and prototypes, we're expecting a max capacity is 750 pound range.
Jeez.
And self-bailing capacity 500 pound range. So that'll be validated on the water with molded boats, but those are our that's where we have it set at right now with the asterisk saying estimated.
Yeah, no, I like it. Here's a question. I'm not quite sure because I don't know a whole lot about the U10 and Unlimited. Is there a change the way the transducer is mounted as compared to the U10 or the Unlimited? Or did you already answer that?
No, there's no change.
Okay, no change. There you go, Dustin. All right, let me see. Hey, Beer the Paddler's over here. Hey, guys. And here's a question everybody wants to know. MSRP.
Yeah, stick around for that one.
Hold on. Can you range us?
Got to see all the good stuff first before we drop that on you. But
you can't range us?
I've seen some estimates, and I think it'll come in line or less than what people would expect.
All right. Hey, that's what everybody wants to hear. I love it.
I see some comments on the Pursuit there. Someone asked if the pursuit was still supported. And yes, it is retired, but it is still supported. If somebody has a pursuit and has any issues or needs replacement parts, you're still covered. We'll take care of you.
I like it. I got actually a few of these comments. No patrol blue. Is that one of the colors you used off for somewhere?
Patrol blue we don't have right now. I mean, that could come back in the future, but it's not currently an option for 2026. But love to hear the comments about it, because that lets us know people want it.
Okay, there you go. Another question coming in from Bass AF817. Will it come rigged with any type of lights?
No, it won't.
Got it. Whew. Here's a question. I know a lot of people car top their Unlimited. Is the UMAX still going to be light enough to car top? Now, we did talk about how much it weighed earlier in the show, but people are coming in all the time and out. Would you be able to re-answer that for everybody?
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is another thing that's going to set the UMAX apart from some of the other, kind of bigger kayaks. And I would say, yes, it can be car topped. It's not, I wouldn't anticipate anybody grabbing it by the side handles and just overhead lifting it and setting it up on top of their vehicle. But with the length and the weight, which we think will come in right around 100 pounds, excluding the seat. And if you're going to car top it, I'd recommend just, using the spin grips, pop the seat off. Then you've got a 100-pound hull. And with that extra length, it allows you to, kind of keep it on the ground, flip it upside down, set the bow up, walk around, lift up the stern and slide it forward. So I think with the right technique, that most people will be able to car top the Unlimited Max if that's how they need to get it around.
Yeah, 100%. I like it. And here's a question of Jason Reardon. Dual power pole mounts on the stern?
That is, it's certainly possible. It's not something that's built into it, but with an accessory mount, that's possible. There's, I think one Objective, maybe Yak Gadget, maybe one or both those guys have that sort of mount now. And it would fit on the Unlimited Max. Just speaking to accessories.
Yeah.
If there's an accessory that fits on the U10 or the Unlimited, it's going to work on the Max. The only exception is like steering cable length type of items, where the Unlimited has an 8-foot cable and the Unlimited Max would default to a 9-foot cable. So, but all the other accessories are going to be interchangeable.
Yeah. This is a good question.
If someone wants to run a switch between a U10 and an Unlimited Max, makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, no, I like it. This is actually a pretty good question. I actually thought it and didn't ask it. This comes in from it's Jerry. What if the scupper plugs get clogged, or is that an issue that happen a lot, or no? I get crap in the bottom of my kayak all the time.
Yeah, I think we've got it designed where it's not going to be a big issue.
Sure.
You can remove the top of the plug entirely if you need to, hose out, wash out the boat. In most cases, I don't think they'll need to be open that much. So you just kind of have a small gap to, for water to flow through that wouldn't allow a lot of debris or stuff, to get down in there.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, that's one of those things that until you get it out on the water and get it in the hands of a bunch of people and, get some real world experience behind it, can't say it'll never happen, but we think we've designed it in a way that it won't be a real hindrance, or it won't detract from the benefits of the system.
Yeah. And folks, interrogation is over. I'm gonna click off the light. Blake, you probably gave us more juice. You got your people yelling at you in the comment section. Stop talking. This is my favorite question. Will Daren be getting an early model doing on the water review? I don't know. Blake and I need to have a conversation off book here. So we will have that hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
I think we definitely need to get you some more water time in a NuCanoe, whatever model that would be, because I think that's definitely something you need to get a little bit broader experience than what you had up in BC.
Yeah, 100%. I was only out in it for It almost took me into water because that was so much power, and I wasn't used to a 3 horsepower motor on a kayak. When you're not used to it, and that would have been a cold dip. That's for dang sure. I love it. The bearded paddler says, "I know a guy in Arkansas needs one," and I'm sure as we go down this road, everybody's going to need one. So obviously, with how many people are on tonight, how many questions are coming in? You have people who love NuCanoe, love your product, really excited about this launch. And so what can people actually expect on the 12th, right? You keep on doing teaser videos and it's great. I love it. Everybody loves it. We're eating it up. And so what is actually going to happen on the 12th? Can people buy it? Are they pre-ordering it? Are you just launching it? Like what's happening?
Good question. And on the 12th is I was up at our factory last week and we did our first molding run on the UMax. We got boats assembled. We worked, it's a process to go from a new mold to production. And we got off to a really good start with that. We got the boats assembled with very very few issues for our initial release and content. So we have 4 UMaxes in the Atlanta area that, like I said, we got a team of guys coming in to put them to the test. So on the 12th, it'll be a lot of kind of firsthand live content coming out of the boat on the water in action, walkthroughs, different setups, all that kind of stuff. So we don't have a 3-minute marketing video that we've been putting together for the last month that we're going to release. It's going to be a lot more experience the UMax rather than like see it, which I think is it's what people are going to want to see with this model, because there's some really cool features on the deck and in the design, but it's nothing that's going to be like completely out of character, out of the box. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's really cool. People are like, yeah, that's a great idea, or yeah, I really like that. And then concurrent with that, we are doing everything we need to do to start production, which one of the things from last week was, testing the fit and just the function of a lot of our new parts. So everything checked out. So we get suppliers moving on getting those produced, get the mold dialed in with our little punch list of things that we had to do before we could start production. And then we'll be starting to produce these and assemble them and ship them to dealers starting early January.
Okay, early January. So do you do any pre-order stuff, or just when it's available, and then you can
that's all through the dealers.
That's you through dealer, that's right.
So call your dealer. If you like what you see, call your dealer, tell them you want unlimited max, tell them what color, and they'll get you on the list.
Okay, so some of your dealers do pre-orders.
Yes, we have pre-orders with our dealers. I mean, our January schedule is pretty full, fulfilling, preseason dealer orders, getting those out there. So yeah, the best thing, if you're wanting to get one of these boats when they come out, is check with your local dealer, let them know what you want, and see when they have them coming in.
And I'm assuming if you go to your website that you could get a dealer map.
Definitely. Yeah. Just go to NuCanoe.com, click on find a dealer, find your dealer up in the top right, and it'll take you right there.
I like it. Now I would ask you what you guys have planned for 2026, but it sounds like once you get this kayak out and rock and rolling, there's going to be a slew of accessories that are going to come along with it. And so you're going to shift your time and attention over to those, as well as continue to provide excellent customer service to those who have purchased boats before. So
yeah,
I love it.
We got some accessory stuff to work on. We do have a quick connect system kind of upgrade that'll be coming in January, and that we're taking the retract pulley in the cleat. If you remember on the Unlimited, if you want to retract the motor, you may not have had to. You can kind of pull it up, and there's a big wheel pulley that's mounted on the side of the inside gunnel beneath the track. That's all moving to a modular track-based mount. Okay. So we're taking that off the kayak, which gets it out of the way of people who are not using a quick connect system, and allows it to be more modular, because now you can position it where you want or remove it if you're not using that setup.
Yeah.
So excited about that. That'll start shipping with the quick connect systems in January.
I like it. I feel like I have enough information to, if you know NuCanoe in their DNA and their boats of old and everything you talked about today, I got, without actually knowing and seeing what I accidentally saw earlier. I feel like I could put it together. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing, giving us a little glimpse. We have to use our imagination a little bit, but here in on the 12th, that'll all come together. So Blake, I appreciate you. Appreciate what you've been doing for many, many years, and look forward to what NuCanoe is going to continue to do. And anytime you guys do a launch, let's do this again. This is a lot of fun.
I didn't ask you. I mean, did your little birdie tell you something was coming, so you hit me up, or was it just happy coincidence?
Actually, I felt like the man today. I had a guy who texted me. He's like, "Bro, you got the exclusive with NuCanoe." I was like, "Yeah, by accident." It literally was by accident. This whole timing thing that you guys are launching on the 12th, I had no clue that you were doing that. I have no clue that you were launching on the 12th outside of our conversation. He's like, maybe. And so
Right.
I was even texting you a couple days ago. I was like, hey, I deduced from our conversation on the phone that you guys are launching something. Does this thumbnail reinforce? Is that okay? And so big happy accident. I love it.
Sweet. Well, that was good timing. I mean, when I got your email, I'm like, yeah, that's perfect timing. That should fit in real nice.
Heck yeah. I love it. Well, Blake, appreciate you. Also, a big thanks to Dark Horse Tackle, the sponsor of the show. If you haven't checked them out at darkhorsetackle.com. And we'll see you next Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I got Justin Faircloth, Angle of the Year for kayak bass fishing. Look forward to having him come on. And we're just going to dig into some tactical, how to put more and how to put bigger fish in your kayak. Blake, thank you. Thank you, NuCanoe. Look forward to the videos come out on the 12th. And everybody, you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. You guys have a good one.